tuning in. Please subscribe, like, comment, because it's always the right thing to do. Alright, so Dibuyile, I am back with another book review, and hopefully this time you will tell your friends to come and watch this book review. Okay, let me stop being dramatic. Okay, so this is a trilogy. Okay, so this is a trilogy by Chinua Achebe. I was inspired to actually start reading his other works after I read Fall Apart, and there is a book review that I did about it, so do check that out too. So this is a trilogy, and so, but I'm gonna do one of the stories that are here that are, and this title, No Longer at Ease. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so before I get into what the book is about and sort of like my feelings towards the book, I just want us to get a clear understanding of what a trilogy is. So it is said, this is from the internet, this is Wikipedia, okay? But I think that it's fine, we can just get an answer from Wikipedia. A trilogy is a set of 3 works of art that are connected and that can be seen either as a single work or as 3 individual works. That's simple, basically. So this is a work of art, as you've heard from Wikipedia. And so let's get into it without wasting any time. Yo, I like wasting time. So the context in which No Longer at Ease is taking place is just after Nigeria had its independence and is basically starting to find its own feet in terms of its own economics, its own nation's identity, and is sort of trying to make a life based on what is the current situation that they have right now. So that is the context that this book is taking place. Unfortunately or fortunately, this book was so challenging for me in such a way that I don't think I grasped everything as quick as the average person, maybe. And so I've really had to go through my own sort of like further research about, oh, did I actually understand what was intended here, right? And for the most part of it, yes, haven't gone back to read like reviews, because what I do is that when I read a book, I don't read a lot about what it's about and what, you know, I do it and then I see if I understand it for what it's supposed to be, right? So in any case, what I'm trying to get to is that I had to actually write a lot of what I'm going to say today, which is not really something that I do a lot when I do my book reviews, because they're low-key in my head. But yeah, and I'm planning, we're just gonna take things as they go. So the book was published in 1960. So this is a very a classic novel, I guess. No Longer at Ease. That is the title of the book, and the author is Chinua Achebe. Alright, so the genre obviously is a novel, and some of the things I come across are class, tragedy, corruption, identity, family, and yeah, so, but I'm going to discuss some of the ones that I found quite interesting, which is identity, which is also interlinked with family, and what do we do? I think maybe we'll do tragedy, yeah, because I think that's essentially the core of the story. So let's talk a little bit more about the main character. The main character is Obi Okonko, who basically goes to England and he goes to study. He's originally from Nigeria, and he goes study, blah 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 blah. He comes back home to Nigeria, and he has all these ideas about what he's gonna do when he comes back home. He's gonna be an honorable guy. Oh, he in fact thinks he's an honorable man, and I think in the beginning of the novel he does come across as an honorable man. But the circumstances and the living conditions of Nigeria force him to become something else, which in turn leads to his tragedy, and he no longer is the honorable man that he thinks he is, firstly, and what other people believe he was, right? with obviously this education and this life experience that is different from, you know, the normal life in Nigeria. So Okonkwo is a very strong guy. He has high morals. He thinks very highly of himself. But then in the novel, he makes a series of mistakes that lead up to his tragedy, which is basically he starts to take bribe from the locals because he's trying to he's trying to make ends meet, and the temptation is there. And in fact, he in the beginning he rejects these bribes because he doesn't believe in the morality of it, and he doesn't believe in the ethics of doing these things. But eventually he succumbs to the temptation because he looks at his own life and is like, well, okay, if there's a way to get out of this, the easy way to get out of this, then I'm gonna take the bribe. And he took the bribe, and eventually the first and the last scene are basically in correspondence. They are speaking to each other because it's pretty much the same event that happens, where he's in court and he's basically being declared guilty for corruption. So the things are very interesting, and they're not so much in your face as that the fact that there are themes, but they come in very subtle ways. That's at least what I felt. So so they would talk about his relationship with Clara, which is the woman he wanted to marry, but Clara represents something in the Igbo or Nigerian nation. She's an Osu, basically. She's not even known to be a real human being, and so Okonkwo, who's the main character, is sort of like has this dual identity, and Okonkwo is a very challenging character and is going through a lot of things that I think are not that are very realistic for somebody, for people to go through. But it's just unfortunate that things end up the way that they do. But in any case, I'm talking about his dual identity, where both his family and also himself have this very staunch Igbo way of life and culture, traditions, and you know, they don't wanted him to get married to Clara because she's an Osu, blah 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 blah. What's an Osu? Did I write what an Osu is? No, I didn't. So you would have to go research what an Osu is. But it's basically somebody it's a group of people who are deemed not human beings, pretty much, not worthy, at least. But then these same people are very much into Western norms and Western lifestyle with the weddings that they do. They have white weddings now. They have cakes in their weddings, which are a very big part of white representation and European colonial sort of like life. And then you know and so he and Okonkwo ufuna uyeka into zase-West because ubonile uba laa nto can be so harmful, especially because behlala e-England. So ngoku akazazi uba makathini ngoba uxakene ukunyuva dem yento angayazi uba uzayisolva kanjani, kubona. And the living situation in Nigeria basically forces him uba makathini makathathe i-bribe, which I think is a relatable story. It's a relatable narrative in the sense that sometimes umuntu akavela avuke ekuseni athi mna ndizayothatha i-bribe okanye ndizayoba ngoku, i-situation yakho iyakuforsa in a sense. And Okonkwo, I mean not Okonkwo man, Obi Okonkwo, his surname is Okonkwo, his name is Obi. It's confusing because it's a trilogy, and you know what I mean, the trilogy has other characters with similar names. Anyway, point is, guy, people have certain very determined image of who he's supposed to be and what he's supposed to represent, pride and joy, because kaloku yena ufumene education from England, and now funeka I maintain a lifestyle and those expectations that people have of him, and even yena he has of himself, because kaloku ucinga uba oh yena ungcono kunaba abanye, he's better than those who are staying in Nigeria. And maintaining that idea is very costly, which I think is the lead to his tragedy, because akakwazi ukumaintaina le lifestyle that he's also imposing on himself, right? All right, guys. So there's no possible way that I can actually tell you this book as much as I have right now, and I've probably missed a huge chunk of the importance of No Longer It Is as a novel and as a work of art. But I think that's not the point. I'm not here to teach you about the book. I'm here to encourage you guys to read the book, and hopefully we can engage with each other, what the book meant for you and how did you experience the book, because that's why I do my book reviews. That is why I try to tell you from my perspective, because my perspective is the only perspective I can rely on the most, right? So yeah, guys, I'm interested in finding out if you guys would be interested in reading this kind of novel, and I think this novel would be interesting for somebody who is into history, is into very challenging books. So books that are really, really, really gonna get you to think about sort of the ideology that is trying to be put forth through this work of art. And somebody who really loves African literature, there's no other way to say it. If you want to invest in yourself and you want to be part of the narrative that is African people sort of waking up to their own realities and studying, just anybody who loves being an African and loves our stories and wants to understand the conditions of our lives and our reality on a little bit of a critical level, I think this book is for you. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm gonna do a little bit more reading since I am taking a break from social media. We'll see how that goes. My next book that I'm going to read, and is, I won't tell you which one actually, but I have the book. It was actually my birthday present. Oh, maybe I will tell you. It's Michelle Obama's Becoming. It was a birthday present, so I'm going to read that, and hopefully, if you guys are interested, in fact, no, fuck, I am going to do a book review about that, but I haven't started reading it yet, so, yeah, that's that. See you guys next time.